This week, Donald Trump absolutely broke social media as he returned to Twitter for the first time in over 970 days, and this comes only days after a secret report was leaked highlighting that the former president actually owns around $500,000 worth of crypto. And now this is really strange, especially considering what Donald Trump recently said about Bitcoin in this June 2021 interview.
The opening bell for Wall Street is about to ring. I'll ask you one last question. You don't like Bitcoin? You wouldn't invest in Bitcoin? Do you invest in the stock market at this moment?
So not at this moment. I think it's high. So I have not invested in the stock market at this moment. I have in the past, but I have not at this moment. Bitcoin, I just seems like a scam. I was surprised. You know, with us, it was at 6,000 and much lower. I don't like it because it's another currency competing against the dollar. Essentially, it's a currency competing against the dollar. I want the dollar to be the currency of the world. That's what I've always said.
That's right. Donald Trump said the Bitcoin seems like a scam, and he also said that he wants the dollar to remain dominant. More on that a little bit later on into today's video, but I want to explain the 3 reasons for why Donald Trump will have to publicly accept and endorse Bitcoin if he wants to survive in the future. So reason number 1 all comes down to political game theory. Donald Trump is running for the 2024 election. All of his major competitors are embracing Bitcoin. Robert F. Kennedy is garnering a lot of steam in his 2024 presidential election. He, of course, is running as a Democrat, and he has come out as probably being one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls in 2023. He's come out and said, look, if I am elected president, I'm going to exempt Bitcoin from all taxes, and I'm even going to consider backing all US dollar debt with a 1% Bitcoin backing. So this, of course, is massive, but I think it's really interesting that he's running as a Democrat. We also have many Republicans on the opposite side of the aisle who are also embracing Bitcoin. So Ron DeSantis is running as a Republican, and he is actually garnering a lot of support as well. And in this really interesting interview, he said that he's going to actually outlaw central bank digital currencies. So not only does DeSantis want to outlaw central bank digital currencies in his state, but he has also said some very favorable things about Bitcoin. Let's check out this most recent interview that I have found from Ron DeSantis.
In Florida, we've seen them talking about it, so I actually signed legislation where we don't recognize central bank digital currency. Now, Congress could override us on that, but the Fed unilaterally, I don't think they could override us on that, so we've protected Floridians. But as president, on day 1, CBDC goes into the trash can. We're not going to allow it. And we are going to let Americans invest in things like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. No one's forcing you to do it. If you want to do it, you can do it. Biden's war on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency will come to an end when I become president.
So firstly, I think it's massive that we have a potential president in the United States admitting that there is a war on Bitcoin. But furthermore, he said that he wants to end the war on Bitcoin. I believe that is absolutely huge, but let's remember, it's not only RFK and DeSantis who are pro-Bitcoin presidential candidates in 2024. We also have the man by the name of Vivek Ramaswamy. So Vivek Ramaswamy was kind of making waves earlier in the year in the Bitcoin space in particular because he spoke at the Miami 2023 Bitcoin conference alongside RFK. And at that conference, he announced that he was going to become the second president to actually accept Bitcoin donations for his upcoming political campaign. But Vivek Ramaswamy was also making waves earlier in the week as he was talking some truth at the Republican debate. We're not going to get into what he said about climate change in that debate. I would just encourage you to go and watch it because he did certainly say some things that kind of made me really start paying attention. So definitely check out that one. But I believe that is the first reason that Donald Trump is going to have to embrace Bitcoin. All of the people that he's actually competing against to become the next president of the United States are all embracing Bitcoin. There's no way that you can run as an anti-Bitcoin president and actually win the upcoming election. I mean, just think about Joe Biden's popularity right now. It is in the absolute dump. So I believe that's the first reason. Now, the second reason is all because of the great debanking. Now, what do I mean about the Great Debanking? To explain that story, we're going to go back to 2016. I think that was a very important year, because I believe that's where the rise of populism actually originated, and it was due to two people. It was due to Nigel Farage in Britain and Donald Trump in America. So in 2016, Nigel Farage was the politician actually responsible for removing Britain away from the European Union. Most people would have heard of this thing called Brexit, and Nigel Farage was one of the politicians who really led that campaign to remove Britain away from the European Union. So this, of course, is a little bit more of a nationalistic, populist-like movement where people are rejecting globalism. And in 2016, so the same year, America obviously infamously elected Donald Trump as their leader, and everybody's been calling Donald Trump a populist leader for a lot of the policies that he wants to actually enact. He infamously, at a World Economic Forum Davos meeting, went there and actually said that America will retain its sovereignty. It will not go along with all of these globalist agendas. Again, I'm going to let you guys do the speculating and draw your own conclusions on that one, and kind of ask yourself the question why Donald Trump was attacked by the mainstream media throughout his presidency. I don't know if it has anything to do with what he said at the Davos agenda. So let's just move on from that one. The point I'm trying to highlight here is that Nigel Farage has been debanked in 2023. That's right. Nigel Farage had this to say in a recent interview.
The number of business accounts that have been closed down, the attempt to drive cash out of the system. I now think that tens of thousands of people have had their business accounts closed, have had to live in fear. Many have been ruined as a direct consequence of it. And that is because the regulations around banking are wrong, they're over the top, and we're using a sledgehammer to miss the nut. We're not getting the international drugs gangs and the real money launderers. It's the innocent that are paying a huge price. And that is why I went public.
Imagine having a bank account at a bank for over 30 years, not making any illegal transactions, and just being told by your local bank, sorry, Nigel, we don't like your political views. There's the door. Get out of here. That's pretty outrageous. And he has tried to apply at multiple other banks in Britain, but he has been refused a bank account. They've said, sorry, Nigel, we don't like you because of your political views. Is the same thing going to happen to Donald Trump? Look, I think there's a great chance it is going to happen to Donald Trump. Even just earlier in the week, Donald Trump transferred ownership of his mega mansion in America to the ownership of his son. So he gave his mansion away to his son because maybe he knows that they're going to start coming after his property soon. They've tried to indict him multiple times this year. They're trying everything to stop him running for the next 2024 US presidential election. So I think freezing of his assets will probably be likely. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you think it's likely. But speaking of Donald Trump's son, he had some interesting things to say about Bitcoin in an interview a few months ago.
Yeah, I guess what I've learned over the last few years is like the second like the big government people are going after it, there's probably an understory that they're not telling you, and there's a reason for it. And that's why, it's fascinating, but it's cool to see how early we are on the curve, because I feel like, someone who's missed it, but it doesn't feel like we've actually missed it.
So do you think Donald Trump Jr. is going to tap Senior on the shoulder and say, hey, Donald, I think you're going to have to embrace Bitcoin? I think so. I honestly think it's likely. I don't think Donald Trump has any option but to embrace Bitcoin. And imagine how big that is going to be for Bitcoin, okay? Donald Trump has 85 million followers on Twitter. And imagine the kind of frenzy that is going to happen if Donald Trump flips bullish on Bitcoin. I don't think anyone's prepared for the frenzy that's going to happen, but I don't think Donald Trump is the only person with a megaphone who is going to flip bullish on Bitcoin in the coming months and maybe years. If you want to see a recent video where we kind of explored the words of Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson, and we speculated why they are the key necessary ingredients to trigger a 2025 Bitcoin supercycle, you guys should definitely check out the video we did record on that topic. You can find a link to that one right there. And with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know in the comments down below why you didn't enjoy this one. Let me know what you think of Donald Trump. Do you think I'm over the target here, or do you think I'm just speculating and throwing darts blindly? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'll see you all in the next video.